Welcome back to Horoscope TV. Um, Imagine waking up on a Friday, looking in the mirror, and suddenly realizing you want to change absolutely everything about your life.
Oh yeah, just a total reset.
Right. Your career, the way you dress, your circle of friends, maybe even, the kind of person you want to love.
It's a huge shift.
It really is.
Yeah.
And if you are a Gemini, that is exactly the chaotic, exhilarating, totally fresh energy heading straight for you right now.
Absolutely.
We are looking at the astrological charts for the zodiac sign of Gemini for the period of April 20 to April 26, 2026. And you absolutely need to stick around for this forecast.
You really do, because it's a wild ride.
Yeah, this week holds the birth of a totally new personal identity for you. But here's the catch. You cannot sprint across the finish line until you survive a very demanding, very quiet beginning of the week.
It is a massive week of extremes, and honestly, you are going to feel that whiplash if you do not know what is coming.
Oh, for sure.
Looking closely at the charts, the overarching theme here is a sudden, sharp movement. You're going to start out in a period of, well, heavy behind-the-scenes reflection, like you are practically hiding from the world.
Just totally unplugged.
Exactly. But then a few days later, you'll be thrown into a bold, exciting explosion of social and romantic energy.
That sounds exhausting but amazing.
It is. And understanding how to handle both of those extremes is going to be the difference between burning out and making the most of this massive shift.
So we really have this week broken into two totally different halves. The quiet before the storm, and then the actual storm of new ideas.
Yes, very distinct halves.
Let's start right at the beginning then, with that deep need to rest on April 20 and April 21. Because for a Gemini, someone whose mind is constantly racing, asking you to just stop and be quiet, is almost a punishment.
It really can feel like that for an air sign, yeah.
So what is triggering this heavy slowdown?
Well, the anchor dropping on April 20 is the sun entering Taurus.
Okay, Taurus energy.
Right, and Taurus is fixed earth energy. It is incredibly solid, very stubborn, and completely unhurried.
Basically the exact opposite of Gemini.
Exactly. Think about your natural Gemini energy. You are an air sign, ruled by the communication planet Mercury.
You naturally want to fly around, talk to everyone, gather 10 different ideas at once.
And keep moving constantly. So when the sun shifts into Taurus, it forces your fast-moving air into a thick wall of slow-moving earth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it demands that you close your doors, step away from the crowds, and just reflect.
So it is almost like taking a high-speed sports car and suddenly making it drive through thick mud. You have to slow down or you're going to burn out the engine entirely.
That's a perfect way to put it.
But what if someone tries to fight it? Like, let's say a Gemini listener hears this, but they already have a giant dinner party planned for April 20, and they decide to just push through and go anyway. What happens then?
If you try to force that high-speed social energy on April 20, your engine is going to stall out completely.
That's a total crash.
Pretty much. You will likely feel a profound sense of exhaustion, almost like your limbs are made of lead. The charts show a high risk of mental burnout here from everyday social stress.
So it's not just physical tiredness.
No, the kind of rest we are talking about is not just getting 8 hours of sleep. It is sensory rest.
Sensory rest, okay. Like turning off the TV.
Yes, turning off the television, putting your phone in another room, and stopping the endless flow of information into your brain. You have permission to just exist in quiet space.
I feel like everybody needs that permission sometimes, but especially Gemini this week. It makes a lot of sense, especially when I look at the shift happening the very next day.
Right, on April 24th.
Yeah, on April 24th, the moon enters Cancer. And knowing what we know about that Cancer energy, the emotional waters are getting very deep and very sensitive.
Exactly. Cancer rules the emotional core, the idea of home, and gentle comfort.
So it's very protective.
Highly protective. When the moon moves here, your emotional battery is basically flashing red. You're going to be far more sensitive to loud environments, harsh tones of voice, or chaotic crowds.
So a loud bar is out of the question.
Oh, absolutely. You need to wrap yourself up in a cozy blanket and protect your peace. If you go to that loud bar or that busy restaurant, every single loud noise or bumping shoulder is going to irritate you on a deeply emotional level.
Just stay home then.
You really just need to stay home.
You know, it is interesting you mentioned feeling it on a deep level, because I am looking at the physical health warnings in the charts for these first 2 days, and there's a very clear connection to the physical body.
There always is. The mind and body are so linked.
Right. When the mind is forced to slow down, the body often starts speaking up. What are the specific health warnings the astro charts are showing for this period?
The physical focus right now is entirely on the stomach and the digestive system.
Oh, the gut.
Yeah, there is a very strong link between your nervous energy and your gut. When a Gemini is overstimulated mentally, it often manifests as an upset stomach or digestive stress.
That makes total sense.
Because this Taurus and Cancer energy is asking you to slow down, your body is going to be incredibly sensitive to what you put into it.
So what should they do?
The charts highly recommend drinking plenty of fresh, clean water and sticking to simple, healthy meals.
Right, so this is not the time to order the greasiest, heaviest takeout food just because you are staying home on the couch.
Precisely. If you feed your body heavy, difficult-to-digest foods while your emotional battery is already low, your physical battery is going to crash right along with it.
You just won't have the energy to process it.
Exactly. You need proper nourishment. Think of it as feeding your body the easiest, cleanest fuel possible so that it doesn't have to work hard to process your food.
Which frees up energy for other things.
Yes, freeing up that energy to help process your emotions instead.
I really want the listener to hear that. Rest your mind, rest your digestion, drink water. It sounds so basic, but it is the exact foundation you need right now.
It's crucial for what comes next.
Right, because the truth is you need that solid foundation. Even though your body is resting on the couch, your mind is still heavily focused on some very serious work.
That is the perfect way to look at it.
Yeah.
You are pulling back socially, but professionally, you are gearing up.
Yeah, let's unpack that. Because the astrological shifts from April 20 to April 25 explain exactly why this work is so serious.
They really do. Looking at April 20, the same day the sun moves into Taurus, we have this massive meeting of planets.
Mercury is meeting up with Saturn and Mars.
Yes. Now, we know Mercury rules your thoughts and your words. Mars is pure aggressive action, pushing you forward.
But then you have Saturn in the mix.
Right, and Saturn is the planet of strict rules, boundaries, and hard work.
It feels like pressing the gas pedal and the brake at the exact same time. How does this actually play out for Gemini in the real world?
That gas and brake analogy is exactly what the math here shows. It creates an incredible amount of friction, but also a laser-like focus.
So they are focused, but stuck.
Well, Mars wants you to charge ahead and launch new ideas, especially when it comes to your friendships and your future group projects. You feel brave and you want to take action.
And Saturn is there.
But Saturn is standing right there, holding a clipboard, telling you that you cannot move forward until you have checked every single box.
Filled out every form.
Exactly, and followed every rule. It forces you to think very seriously about the structures of your teams.
So if you are working on a group project at your job, or even organizing a big event with your friends, you cannot just wing it this week.
Absolutely not.
Which is tough, because Geminis are usually famous for being able to talk their way out of a tight spot, or, find a clever shortcut to get things done faster.
Yes, they are the masters of the quick fix.
But the charts are screaming that taking lazy shortcuts right now is a terrible idea.
It is a recipe for disaster this week. If you skip a step to save time, Saturn's strict energy guarantees that mistake will be caught.
Oh, yikes.
And it will likely be called out publicly. You must respect the rules set by your team leaders. You have to do the tedious, boring parts of the job completely by the book.
I have to ask, though, why is the energy demanding such strict obedience right now? Like, why can't a brilliant Gemini just find a smart workaround like they usually do?
Because the charts show that a very tricky, potentially explosive situation is brewing later in the week.
Ooh, a tricky situation.
Yes, the rules you follow right now are the armor you will need to wear in just a few days. You are not just following rules to be polite, you are building an airtight defense.
Okay, that sounds slightly terrifying, but also very intriguing. Let's look at the drama heading our way.
Fast forward to April 25.
Right, April 25. The sun forms a square with Pluto. And we know that a square means a clash, a harsh angle that forces conflict.
It's definitely a point of tension.
And Pluto is the planet of power, the underworld, and hidden things. This points directly to a heavy power struggle.
It does, but because of Pluto's hidden nature, this is not a loud argument in the middle of the office.
So it's more sneaky.
Yes. This is a cold, calculated power struggle with a hidden enemy. It points to a tricky coworker or someone in your social circle who is operating entirely behind the scenes.
What kind of things are they doing?
They might be quietly trying to take credit for your work. Or maybe whispering to a boss about your performance.
Just playing complex office politics to push themselves ahead while pushing you down.
Exactly. It's very manipulative.
See, this is what makes me so frustrated on behalf of the listener.
Yeah.
You spend the early part of the week resting. You drink your water. You follow every single annoying rule on the group project. You do everything perfectly.
You do the work.
Right. And then some coworker decides to start plotting against you in the shadows. Why do people have to play these games? Can't we just show up, do the work, and go home?
It is incredibly frustrating, I agree. But human ego and power dynamics are always in play, especially when Pluto is involved.
It just stirs the pot.
It does. This transit brings those toxic hidden dynamics to the surface. But this brings us right back to why Saturn was so important earlier in the week.
Ah, I see. Because you followed all the rules, they have nothing to use against you.
Exactly. When someone tries to play these games behind your back on April 25, you simply point to your perfectly documented, strictly by-the-book work.
So your advice is to just let the work speak for itself.
My absolute strongest advice for this transit is to stay perfectly calm.
What does that look like in practice? Because honestly, if I find out someone is taking credit for my project, my first instinct is to send a very pointed, very angry email copying the entire department.
Do not send the email.
Not even a little one.
Do not pull them into a conference room for confrontation. Do not vent about it to other coworkers in the break room. You must completely avoid any unnecessary drama.
Why is reacting so bad here?
Because Pluto thrives on emotional reactions and power struggles. If you react with anger, you feed the drama, and you end up looking like the difficult person.
Oh, that makes sense. It flips the script on you.
Right. Your goal is to protect your good reputation above all else.
So essentially, you let your flawless work speak for itself. You let them play their silly shadow games alone, and you just stay in the light, completely unbothered.
It takes discipline, but it works.
That takes a lot of discipline. But it is powerful advice. Protect your reputation at all costs. And, guarding your reputation at work actually links perfectly to our next subject, which is guarding your wallet.
The money charts for this week are fascinating.
It makes total sense that you are protecting your professional standing so fiercely because your charts show a sudden, intense craving for financial security this week.
That is exactly the link. The emotional shifts we talked about earlier are going to heavily impact how you view and handle your money.
So it's not just about workplace rules.
No, we are looking at a real money roller coaster from April 21 to April 24.
Let's break this down because it goes from responsible saving to wild spending very quickly. On April 21, we have that sensitive Cancer moon.
The nesting energy.
Right. While it makes you want to stay home, it also shines a massive spotlight on your personal income. It triggers a deep protective instinct over your resources.
It creates a powerful motivation to build true, lasting wealth. Cancer energy is all about the home and family.
So you're thinking long-term.
Yes, you are not just looking at your bank account and thinking about buying groceries for the week. You are looking at the long term. You want ultimate security for your future family life.
You want a safety net.
Exactly. You want to know that no matter what happens in the world, your home is safe and your resources are locked down.
It is the ultimate nesting energy. You are sitting there thinking, I am going to save every penny. I'm going to build my empire. I am going to be so financially responsible.
It's a very grounded feeling.
It feels so grounded. But then the moon keeps moving.
It always does.
Yeah. On April 23, the moon shifts out of cozy, protective Cancer and enters loud, flashy Leo. And the entire financial mindset flips completely upside down.
The shift from Cancer to Leo is dramatic.
How so?
Well, Cancer wants to build a secure, hidden bunker to protect you. Leo wants to buy a massive neon sign to point at the bunker so everyone can see how successful you are.
Oh, wow. That's a huge difference.
When the moon enters Leo, the charts show a deep, burning temptation to spend your hard-earned cash just to show off.
It is the classic ego trap. Like having an angel of savings on one shoulder and a devil of shopping on the other.
That's a great analogy.
Suddenly, that money you were saving for your future family doesn't feel as fun as buying a luxury watch. Or a designer jacket, or booking a wildly expensive vacation just so you can post pictures of it.
It's all about the optics.
The charts even show a specific pull toward expensive hobbies, like deciding overnight that you are going to become a professional-level photographer.
And you just have to have the best gear.
Right, so you go out and buy $5,000 worth of camera equipment just to impress your neighbors.
And that is exactly what you need to avoid. I have to firmly warn you here. You must stick to a strict budget on April 23.
Don't buy the camera.
Do not buy the camera. Do not let that Leo energy convince you that buying shiny things will make you feel better.
Why is the urge so strong, though?
The psychology here is that you want an audience to validate your success. But if you give in and buy that expensive camera equipment, by next week it will be sitting in a closet gathering dust.
And the money is just gone.
And the money you desperately wanted for your long-term security will be gone.
So the advice is simple. Freeze the credit cards. If you feel the urge to buy something flashy on April 23, wait 3 days. Just wait it out.
Waiting is the smartest move.
Because if you can hold on to your money, the charts actually bring a brilliant financial opportunity the very next day.
Yes, April 24 brings a very interesting transit.
On April 24, Mercury connects to Lilith. Now, Lilith is a fascinating point in astrology. It represents untamed, rebellious, hidden energy.
It's very wild energy.
When it links up with Mercury, the planet of ideas, how does that translate into cash for a Gemini?
It is a brilliant combination for finding hidden money.
Like finding 20 bucks in your coat pocket.
A bit bigger than that.
Yeah.
Because Lilith operates outside of the normal established rules, this is not about getting a standard raise at your corporate job.
Oh, okay. So what is it?
This connection gives you clever, out-of-the-box ideas to find completely hidden sources of extra income. And you are going to find this through your vast social network.
That is so interesting. So instead of looking at job boards, you should be talking to the people you know.
Exactly. You might discover that a friend of a friend has a weird niche problem that you know exactly how to solve.
And they are willing to pay for it.
Yes? Or someone in your community group needs a freelancer for a side project. Because you protected your reputation so well during that tricky workplace drama, people in your network trust you.
Because you took the high road.
Right. They know you are reliable. You can use this clever, rebellious Lilith energy to tap into those hidden streams of income and steadily grow your bank account.
Instead of blowing it all on the Leo moon's flashy temptations.
Exactly. It's a much better use of your resources.
I absolutely love that. It rewards you for being disciplined earlier in the week. And speaking of your social network, those connections are not just bringing you hidden money right now.
Not at all.
They're about to bring a massive, undeniable wave of romantic energy. This brings us to what might be the most exciting part of the week.
I think it definitely is.
Between April 24 and April 26, we are looking at a magical spark in romance and compatibility.
The romantic shifts happening here are truly beautiful and very surprising.
Surprising how?
Well, it all kicks off on April 24th when Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and values, meets up with Uranus.
Uranus is the planet of sudden shocks and breakthroughs, right?
Exactly. And they're meeting in the sign of Taurus.
Uranus always shakes things up. It's like a lightning bolt hitting the ground. So when it hits Venus, the planet of love, what does that lightning bolt feel like?
It brings totally unexpected surprises directly to your hidden feelings. You might suddenly realize that you have secret desires you never even knew existed.
Oh, like a sudden crush.
Or a sudden realization about what you really want. This transit shakes loose your old patterns. If you have always dated a very specific type of person, you might wake up on April 24 and realize you are intensely attracted to someone completely different.
That's wild.
Or you might realize you desire a completely different style of relationship than you thought you wanted. It is a moment of deep romantic awakening.
That is thrilling.
Ah.
It's like flipping to a new chapter in a book and realizing the whole genre just changed.
Yeah.
You surprise yourself.
You really do.
And that energy just gets amplified. Because later, that exact same day, April 24, Venus leaves Taurus and enters your own sign of Gemini.
That is the peak moment.
The planet of love is officially in your house.
And having Venus in your own sign is one of the most powerful romantic advantages you can get.
You just become a magnet.
Pretty much. Your natural Gemini traits, your quick wit, your curiosity, your love of wordplay, suddenly become incredibly attractive to everyone around you.
So your personal charm becomes totally irresistible.
Totally.
Your communication style is naturally playful and lighthearted. But with Venus here, it is like you are speaking a magical language. Everyone is going to want to be in your orbit.
It is true. The charts strongly advise using this energy to connect. Do not stay home on April 24.
Like we said earlier, no more resting.
Right, the resting phase is over. Plan a fun, spontaneous trip or simply ask someone you're interested in to go grab a coffee.
Just get out there.
Yes. For a Gemini, a long, fascinating conversation is the ultimate foreplay. Your ability to banter and explore ideas is going to draw people in like a magnet.
I always wonder, though, with Gemini being so quick and chatty, is there a risk of this just being surface-level flirting? Like, can this energy actually build something real?
It definitely can, and we see exactly how that happens as the week progresses.
Okay, good.
By April 26, Venus moves to connect with Neptune,
And Neptune is the planet of dreams, right?
Dreams, spirituality, and boundless compassion. This strips away the surface level chatting and replaces it with a deep spiritual romance. It brings a feeling of unconditional love.
Oh, wow. So it goes from playful banter to a soul-level connection in just 2 days. That is heavy.
It is deeply beautiful. For single listeners, April 26th is a day to pay close attention to.
Mark it on the calendar.
During this highly magical window, you could easily cross paths with someone who feels like a literal dream come true, someone who understands your mind and your spirit.
A literal dream come true. You cannot ask for better news than that. But if our Gemini listener is looking out at the crowd, wondering who this dream person might be, we need to talk about compatibility.
That's a great point.
Who is the absolute best match for Gemini this week to maximize all this beautiful energy?
Looking at how the elemental energies are blending right now, your absolute best match for this week is Libra.
Libra. I love a Gemini and Libra pairing. They're both air signs, so they already speak the same language. Why does Libra win the top spot this week?
It comes down to their shared appreciation for how Venus is operating. When Venus enters Gemini, you are going to strongly crave playful banter, social connection, and beautiful aesthetic experiences.
You want to go out and see pretty things.
Yes. You want to go to a museum, walk through a beautiful park, or sit at a visually stunning cafe and just talk. A Libra intrinsically understands this need.
They don't need it explained to them.
Exactly. You do not have to explain your desire for beauty or conversation to a Libra. They already feel it, too.
Exactly. You don't have to translate your brain. You don't have to say, I need mental stimulation today. You just say, let's go look at cool art and talk about weird ideas. Libra is already out the door.
Furthermore, Libra acts as the perfect anchor for your social ideas. They will support your boldest plans without making you feel crazy.
Which you need with all that Uranus energy.
And remember, that tricky workplace drama we discussed earlier. If that stress starts to wear on you, a Libra partner is uniquely equipped to help.
Oh, because they are the sign of the scales.
Right. They will naturally help you find balance. They will remind you to step away from the power struggles and enjoy the simple, sweet pleasures of a fair, peaceful life.
And what about the deeper connection? Because Geminis need to be mentally challenged. They want to talk about philosophy, the future, and big, wild dreams.
Libra will meet you there perfectly. You can share your wildest, most unconventional philosophical dreams with them, and they will not judge you.
That's so refreshing.
They will engage with your mind using their own sharp intellect, offering fierce loyalty and mutual respect. Spending time with a Libra this week will make you feel intensely confident, deeply happy, and truly seen.
So go find a Libra.
Highly recommended.
But we also need to look at the other end of the spectrum. Who is the absolute worst match for Gemini this week? Like, who should they be running away from?
The charts are very clear here. Your worst match for this week, without a doubt, is Virgo.
Oh no, poor Virgo. We usually love Virgos. But why is the energy so toxic between Gemini and Virgo right now?
It is a complete clash of basic life rhythms. You are flying high on air and sudden Uranus energy, and Virgo is throwing down heavy earth anchors.
Just weighing you down.
This friction reaches its peak on April 26 when the moon actually enters the sign of Virgo. You will feel this heavy, difficult weight in any interaction you have with them.
Break down the psychology of that clash for me. What are they fundamentally disagreeing on?
Well, a Virgo, especially right now, wants everything in their environment perfectly organized. They want every minute of the day meticulously planned out.
Spreadsheets and itineraries.
Yes. They focus intensely on the tiny details and what might go wrong. But you, Gemini, with all this fresh Venus and Uranus energy, want to be entirely spontaneous. You want to follow the changing winds of your curiosity without a schedule.
Now, wait a minute. Let me push back on this.
Okay.
Because earlier in the week when we were talking about work, you said the Gemini listener needs to be strict, follow all the rules, and not take lazy shortcuts. Isn't that very similar to Virgo energy? Why is it good for work, but terrible for romance?
That is a very sharp observation. The distinction is the arena.
The arena, meaning where it's happening.
Right. In a work environment, meticulous planning builds a necessary defense. But in romance, applying that same strict, critical lens completely suffocates love.
Oh, I see.
Right now, a Virgo's need to focus on critical details will feel like an interrogation on a date. You will feel hopelessly trapped in a boring routine. They will view your spontaneity as reckless, and you will view their planning as controlling.
That sounds absolutely exhausting. Zero mutual understanding is a giant red flag for a romantic connection.
It is. If you try to force romance with a Virgo this week, it will only lead to bitter arguments. The best advice the charts offer is to simply keep a polite distance.
Don't force it.
Do not try to plan a date, just let them do their thing, and you focus on your own growth.
Keep a polite distance and protect your peace. And, needing that space from Virgo's heavy planning leads us perfectly into the final massive event of the week.
The big shift.
Exactly. The reason you desperately need the freedom to be spontaneous, Gemini, is because a massive wave of new ideas is about to wash over you. You are stepping into a totally fresh version of yourself. Let's talk about the big shift happening from April 24 to April 26.
This is truly the climax of the week. Everything else we have discussed has been building toward this personal reset.
Where does it start?
We can trace the beginning of this momentum to April 24, when we have the first quarter moon in the sign of Leo.
We talked about Leo energy earlier with the money trap. It wants an audience. So how does this moon phase affect your identity?
A first quarter moon is a phase of action and pushing through obstacles. When it happens in proud, expressive Leo, it acts as a cosmic push onto the stage.
So you're in the spotlight.
It is asking you to act boldly. It wants you to share your creative ideas, your unique voice, and your brilliant talents with your local community. You are no longer hiding on the couch like you were at the start of the week.
You're stepping out and saying, look at what I can do.
Exactly. It's a very loud energy.
It is the warm-up act. It is building your confidence because you're going to need it for the absolute biggest news of the week. On April 26, Uranus enters Gemini.
This is huge.
Let's just pause to appreciate how huge this is. The planet of sudden, shocking change, of brilliant innovation, is entering your own sign.
It is a monumental shift. Uranus moves very slowly, so when it changes signs, it marks the beginning of a major new era.
Whole new chapter.
When we see Uranus entering your sign, it represents a sudden, uncontainable flood of completely new ideas. You're going to experience a totally fresh personal identity.
But what does that actually feel like for a person walking around on a Friday? Like day to day?
It can feel incredibly destabilizing, but also wonderfully liberating. It is like waking up and suddenly viewing the entire world through a brand new set of eyes.
So everything looks different.
The hobbies you loved last week might suddenly bore you. The way you dress might feel completely wrong for who you are now. The way you present yourself to the world is going to undergo a rapid, brilliant shift. You are reinventing yourself in real time.
But with all that sudden, chaotic Uranus energy, there has to be a danger of moving too fast. Feels like the kind of energy that makes someone want to quit their job, sell their house, and move to a new country on a Tuesday just because it sounded like a good idea.
You are absolutely right, and the charts provide a very strict warning about exactly that.
Well, they do.
Yes. You must use this time to carefully plan your next big steps instead of rushing forward blindly. Uranus gives you the vision of who you can become, but it does not give you the patience to build the road to get there.
So you have to pump the brakes yourself.
You have to actively supply the patience. Write down all these brilliant new ideas, map out the possibilities, but do not burn down your current life on a whim.
So how do you actually ground yourself when your mind is exploding with all these wild new visions? How do you keep from floating away into the clouds?
This is where the universe provides the perfect tool. Also on April 26, the moon enters Virgo.
Ah, the Virgo energy is back. We just said it was terrible for romance, but now you were saying it is a tool.
Exactly. While Virgo energy will ruin your romantic dinner date right now, it is the absolute best energy for organizing your personal life.
Oh, I get it. Channel it into chores.
When your mind is overflowing with wild, sudden Uranus ideas, you need physical order to keep you sane. The charts show that this Virgo moon is the perfect opportunity to organize your daily routine. Clean your messy living space, do your laundry, scrub the floors.
I love the psychology of that. When your internal world is chaotic and full of massive, life-changing ideas, you control what you can. You clean your physical space.
Exactly. The act of bringing order to your physical environment directly impacts your mental health. It stops you from feeling crazy.
It's very grounding.
Having a clean room and an organized desk gives you a stable launch pad for all these new concepts. It is also the perfect day to start a brand new exercise plan or a very healthy diet. Pay close attention to the small details of your personal wellness.
Use the Virgo energy to sweep the floors so your mind is free to reinvent your life. I love it. And if you manage to do all of this, if you rest when you need to, if you handle the workplace shadows calmly, if you freeze your credit card and save your money, and if you organize your life, the charts show a massive reward waiting for you at the end.
The reward is significant. Also, on April 26th, to tie everything together, the sun makes a very helpful, harmonious link to the North Node.
And the North Node is important, right?
In astrology, the North Node is not a planet. It is a mathematical point that represents your ultimate path forward. It is the compass pointing toward your life's true purpose.
So when the sun, the core of your identity, links up with the North Node, what does that signify for our Gemini listener?
It clearly shows that all the hard work you did this week, the discipline you showed, and all the drama you successfully avoided is acting as a bridge.
A bridge to where?
It is leading you straight toward your true professional destiny. Every careful step you took this week was actually aligning you perfectly with where you are meant to be.
True professional destiny. What an incredible journey for 1 week. You start out completely drained, hiding in your house, just trying to drink enough water and rest your stomach.
And it feels so tough in the moment.
And you end the week stepping out onto the stage with a brand new identity, completely aligned with your true destiny. I am so excited for every Gemini out there going through this shift.
It's going to be remarkable.
Let's do a quick weekly recap to make sure you have all the lucky elements from the astrological charts written down and ready to go. Your lucky color of the week is yellow. Bright, cheerful, brilliant yellow.
A very Gemini color.
And your lucky numbers for this week are 3, 7, 16, 23, 29, and 35. Keep those in mind. And if you are marking your calendar to prepare for the biggest shifts, the absolute best dates of the week to look forward to are April 24 and April 26.
Those are undeniably the peak days where the most magical, life-altering shifts will occur. Prepare for them and embrace the change.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and listening to this forecast on Horoscope TV. We strongly suggest that you subscribe right now so you can get notified the exact second the next forecast is available. We love breaking down these charts with you.
We really do.
Before you go, I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on regarding everything we just discussed. When that sudden wave of a brand new identity hits you this weekend and you feel the urge to change everything, ask yourself this. Is this really a new you that you are creating? Or is it simply the real you that you finally feel brave enough to let out of the box?